Shut up and sit down.
To start off with, for those who don't know about your band and your music,
Yeah.
You guys hail from Australia, right? Which is fairly obvious.
Yeah.
So who's in the band?
Obviously got me, Jay. I'm actually English, but live in Australia, so honorary Australian, I guess you'd call it. Yeah. We've got Stacey Blake, who's the other original member of the band, who's on bass guitar, Danny Jackson on lead guitar, and Carl Redman on drums.
Your music has been described, and you self-described as well, indeed, the bastard child of Motorhead, Guns N' Roses, and Backyard Babies. That is quite a combination.
Yeah. It is a little. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because if you, at the heart of it, we're a sleaze rock band, like a 80s Sunset Strip kind of Festive Pussycat, early GNR kind of thing. But we also have a lot of like other influences that we bring into it, and there's that we have that heavier edge, which is very reminiscent of Motorhead. A bit of punk edge into us as well, which is where the kind of the Backyard Babies comparison comes in, I guess. We went with that because it's hard when you say to people, oh yeah, especially like people who aren't in the scene and stuff, like, yeah, we're a sleaze rock band, and they go, what the fuck is sleaze rock? So yeah, that's why we went for that. And I think it's pretty close. A lot of reviews off both albums have picked up those kind of influences, and it's not every song because it kind of varies as the songs go along. Like some songs will have lean more into the heavier edge of it, and then some will be more kind of traditional kind of sleaze rock, so.
And why tie yourself down? If you say sleaze rock, then it ties you down to Enough
exactly.
and Tiger Tales, and yeah, absolutely. So who would you say your musical influences are in particular?
My personal ones would be I'm the straight head sleaze guy in the band. Like it's always been my jam. But yeah, GNR, Fast Pussycat, they were like my earliest kind of influences. Motorhead to some extent as well, because Motorhead is one of those funny bands that transcend genres. It's just straight up loud rock and roll, and they get credited a lot for being like godfathers of thrash metal and stuff like that, because a lot of thrash metal bands took influence out of Motorhead, but I also think a lot of sleaze bands took influence out of them because of the attitude and the whole like fuck you, we'll do what we want to do, and you just either like it or you don't, like so that's in there. And then later, more recently, I really got into the Backyard Babies and stuff like that. Even like a lot of the newer bands like Buck Cherry, Backyard Babies, Hardcore Superstar and stuff like that. So so we've got a bit of variance, and the other guys that also. It's your taste.
I was going to say, you've done a couple of EPs and your debut LP, This Side of Hell, 2018. We've checked out, and great start for a band. Are you still with Slip Trick Records?
Yeah, well, we are currently, we might we are. And the short of it is we still are,
right. But who knows?
But yeah, we might shop around for the next album. That's kind of our thinking at the moment.
Absolutely, why not indeed. Your second album was called Black Candy, and that is 2021's album, isn't it? And that has a different lineup, I believe, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So the lineup on This Side of Hell had a different lead guitarist and drummer, and they kind of they quit after we did an Australia and New Zealand tour, and then we were going to do a UK tour, and they quit like about a month out from that. For whatever reason, I'm not entirely sure, but whatever. And then we got temporary guys in to do that tour, and we did that tour, and then we changed the lineup after that. And that was a lineup that recorded Black Candy. Yeah. And now, funny enough, the drummer and guitarist who joined for that have gone since as well. Maybe it's just me and Stacey, the bassist, but they can't get on with us. I don't know.
Well, you sometimes new blood in the band, I mean, particularly guitarists, can sort of take you in new directions you hadn't maybe thought of musically. So sometimes change is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, we're not overly worried because of the consistency of me with the vocal, and then Stacey does a lot of the songwriting. He doesn't get enough credit for it, but a lot of songs come out of his kind of riffs and stuff. So we have that consistency, and we know kind of where we want to be. We're happy to vary a little bit, as long as the song at the end of the recording or whatever writing process still sounds like a Snakebite song. Then we're happy to like veer off in a few different directions. Yeah, and the new guitarist we've got, Danny, is like the guy's like a hidden gem. I don't know where the fuck he's been hiding, but he's probably the best guitarist I've seen play in Australia. He's the guy is mind-blowingly good. So he's taking us in, like, you know, just allowing us to expand even more. So yeah, it's cool.
You mentioned gigs. You mentioned the Australia tour and New Zealand tour. What gigs have you got lined up for the rest of this year and 2024?
Yeah, so this year we're playing at Rocklahoma in the US, September 2nd, Saturday. And then we're doing at the moment we've got 5 other dates booked around that. So we're playing Vegas, the Whiskey in LA, we're playing New Orleans and Houston, and we've got a few other dates pending confirmation of that. So we're going over for 3 weeks, and we're gonna spend the time riding and doing as many shows as we can. And then when we get back, we've got Steel Assassins Festival in Sydney in November. And yeah, that's it at the moment. 2024 is up in the air as to what we want to do, because touring for us, like overseas touring, is expensive. It costs a fortune in Australia to get anywhere. Yeah, so we're tossing up what we want to do. We want to come back because we've been to the UK twice before, so we definitely, UK is back in our minds again, and probably Europe, which we were going to do this year, but the plan changed when we got offered Rocklahoma, and we were like, yeah, we'll do that instead.
Couldn't turn that down
this year. No, no, it's huge. But yeah, so for next year, the loose plan is obviously we'll be still doing Australia and probably another trip over to New Zealand because it's close for us. We're looking at Japan as well, and then definitely heading back up to Europe and the UK.
Oh, we look forward to seeing you again. How about new music? I mean, you mentioned writing.
Yeah.
So will you be carrying on writing songs for the new album on downtime? Yeah. When can we expect album?
Yeah, well, when we're in the US, we're going to be the new album probably towards the end of next year is what we're looking at. We're going to spend a lot of the time because in the US riding, because we all live pretty far away from each other in Australia, so we only get together like occasionally. So this will be, you know, we're going to be on the road for 3 weeks together, so we'll have time to write and that. But our rough plan is kind of like the plan is we're going to drop 2 to 3 standalone singles, brand new songs leading up to the album. But those 3 singles, unlike other bands that put out like 3 singles and then they're actually part of the album, they won't be part of the album at all. So the album will be 10 to 13 brand new tracks and then 2 to 3 singles leading up to that.
Sounds like you got it all figured out.
Yeah. We always have a plan. We might be a bunch of drunken reprobates, but we generally have a plan.
What's the sort of gig scene like in Australia?
It's for our kind of music, it's not that big. I mean, it's fairly big. We're lucky enough that we can, you know, cross genres and play with like different metal bands and punk bands and stuff like that. So that doesn't restrict us in playing. But the live scene here is suffering, I think, the same as it is in a lot of countries.
Absolutely,
it is. Yeah. Friends who live, you know, in UK, US, and it's, you know, struggling everywhere. It's become like a thing of modern society. We've got all this technology, which is great for, you know, connection and marketing, but at the end of the day, it's also like people are just staying at home, like they're not, you know, and it's weird. I know places obviously got screwed by COVID and you know, that whole debacle that happened there. So it's been a hard road. I mean, we can do, it depends where you go in Australia, because like touring, you can do the regional stuff, which you'll get pretty decent crowds because people don't come out to there that much. But if you play like Brisbane or Sydney, Melbourne, anywhere like that, well, it's similar like London, where the show's on all the time, every night and that. But yeah, we do all right. I mean, we sold out Melbourne before and stuff like that. So it's there, it's happening. Just whereabouts you are in the country, it is. And Australia's a vast country. It's massive,
Well, it's the sheer logistics involved of putting a tour together, isn't it?
We do what we can do. Yeah.
Before I let you go.
Yeah, well, I mean, just for example, we can't, like, to drive to Sydney, it's 13 hours.
It's too far. You need to squish it down, make it smaller.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, my lovely, is there anything you want to say to your fans out there?
Yeah, I just want to say, if you are a Snakebite fan already, and we've got a fair few in the UK. Thanks for your support over the years and that. We appreciate everything that anyone does, like any likes, any social media shares, all that kind of stuff, streaming songs, buying songs, whatever. It doesn't matter. We appreciate all that. And if you're not a Snakebite fan, you should check us out. I think you might be surprised.
Links in the description, as they say.
That's it. Thanks.
Thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best, and do keep in touch.
Thanks, Carrie.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Take care.
Have a good one. See you later. See ya.